too much physical damage. They need some magic here. I think putting the Grok in the roam position will be the wise choice for ONIC.
True.
If not, it's just going to be so easy for Rebellion Zion. Oh my god,
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
Double
of
roam.
crazy magic damage, Selena definitely has that in the bag, but man, it's only for the early game. If Rebellion can weather the storm, Arashi, it's going to be a disaster for ONIC.
Well, it'll be a disaster indeed. I mean, they have intel to play around with. They have mobility, but that won't be enough. With that, if they rely on that, Rebellion Zion will be the team to actually dictate what happens in the game and decide where they want to go and what is being contested. That's not a situation where ONIC Esports want to be. Wow.
What seems like here in Game 2, the draft is set, ladies and gentlemen. Will Rebellion, with this draft here, a very overall balanced draft, will they take the game 2-0, or with a very dive-heavy composition from side of ONIC Esports, will force a Game 3? Ladies and gentlemen, grab your snacks, grab your popcorn, and let's just jump into the Land of Dawn to witness game numero dos.
Kyrie on the Fanny, this time with a high and dry emblem, as opposed to Sans, who popped or used the Demon Slayer emblem. And early on, Legion Arco, first Cho performance in MPL ID Season 10 for him. We'll see how he performs up against this composition right here. They're going to have a little bit more control in the mid lane, I believe, with the Cho up against the Grok, but Sans definitely has more kill pressure.
Well, he has more kill pressure early on with the burst available, and of course with the follow-up that can just come out of nowhere. But for now, Rebellion Zion still has the clear advantage, and with that, they're trying to make moves around the map as early as possible.
A different approach here from that Fanny. Carry opted for that high and dry, as opposed to Game 1, Sans opting for that Demon Slayer, so a different play style. But take a look at the changes here. Talent's prediction by Axe, me and Arashi here, kinda isolated, don't you think?
Well, I'm isolated, but I'm with you, Goni. So, Rebellion for the two of us. And honestly, I find it surprising that you, a hardcore ONIC fan, actually is opting for Rebellion.
That's
but
a typo. But
again, well, is it a typo? Well, I think that Rebellion Zion, you can't count them out and go for a hardcore early game like this. And of course, ONIC can pull it off, but what are the odds? But right now, they're doing pretty good. First blood for Kyrie.
First blood for Kyrie here. Presented to you by Samsung Galaxy A series, and right now CW taking the hit as well. BMI was used to defend Keyboy, trying to use that pressure, poking pressure on that Selena here, on towards that marksman of Rebellion Zion. Seems like in the early minutes, ONIC Esports is still slightly ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, just literally in Game 1, we did see the same thing happen. ONIC Esports with First Blood, they were able to secure the first few minutes of the game, but then Rebellion Zion just took control with neutral objectives. And so far, it looks like they're doing really good with Dyron invading in the enemy jungle and getting out as well. Fearless will have a free turtle.
Well, that was rude. Dyron just sucker punched Kyrie away from that situation. He will not be around to try and contest that turtle.
Dyron got the turtle, so a little bit of a miscalculation from Fearless there with the lethal counter red trade.
I gotta say though, it's kinda awkward seeing Sans on a Grok. Is this a comfortable hero perhaps, or now he is taking the heat here. Forced to use that part of nature. Oh, that arrow almost connects Kyrie here, perhaps going towards top side here.
Well, ONIC Esports' success will depend on Kyrie here. He is the factor, the member of the team that can be all around the map, and everyone else, they can kind of like do damage, but they lack a bit of setup, I think. So Rebellion, I think they have a good chance of just outplaying a lot of these burst damage and mobility coming in from ONIC Esports.
Let's see though, again, Rebellion Zion haven't really been able to find any crazy picks so far, even with Legion Arco trying his best there. We are going to take a look at the emblems though. High and dry for Kyrie. You can see the damage.
Wave of Dragon connects on towards Kyrie there, but not enough damage to take him down just yet. Legion Arco is also rather low here. Fearless with that Cyclone Sweep, and Blazing Wet from side of CW will not be amount to anything as Keyboy is the first man down. Kyrie with the cables trying to jump in, find a kill. Does not connect on towards anyone just yet. Rebellion Zion has won.
Good pick. Very good pick by Rebellion Zion. Again, equalizing it on the board. And look at what Highs and Legion Arco are doing. Legion Arco staying up top to open the map up for Highs to pick that turret gold apart. Now, though, bottom side.
Well, theory, it's hard for an assassin to go on towards a fighter, so Fearless has that slight edge, taking the jungles from Kyrie. Top side, no action whatsoever, but it seems like ONIC Esports, they are struggling now, Rush.
They are struggling because in the early game, they're up against 3 fighters. You know, before all the items are built up, a lot of these heroes on the side of ONIC Esports, they require items. But Dairon here will be able to escape, but Boots is on the hunt.
Oh, he is on the hunt here. Dairon 1 HP. Boots picking up that kill. With that sprint, he is able to escape. But take a look at the arrow connecting on towards Suelo. Keyboy will not be able to follow up that up just yet, though. Rebellion, Zion. It's clear that their game plan is to invade the purple buffs of Kyrie. But earlier, Kyrie, perhaps with that retribution, is able to collect as well.
This is very dangerous for ONIC Esports. Selina's not going to scale well into the late game, and Rebellion Zion have better control over the neutral objectives again with the Bauman. ONIC Esports needs to find a massive pick, and they need to get Kyrie's snowball going here, because right now, Rebellion have control even in the lanes.
Seems like here, Wijanarko will open up the map. Fearless with that Bauman opening up there, but Kyrie jumps in with that retribution, will not be able to get that one as Sans goes down. Kyrie with the cables trying to find a kill as one member will fall as well. Double kill for Kyrie, 2 for 1, but they lost the turtle. Rebellion trying to pick up the pace. Arrow connects on towards one member there as Highs will pop that go in. Keyboy gets taken down. Highs is a madman here as he is just untouchable.
That's why we were hyped after seeing the Melissa pick. A brilliant pick by Rebellion Zion, and you can see the value that it has in the game right now. And what I do want to talk about in terms of the picks, in terms of the draft, is that Rebellion drafted themselves 3 winning lanes technically, so Kyrie's having a tough time in the jungle because Dairon's constantly pressuring that purple buff. And right now you can see the items, Arashi, that Rebellion have been able to get with a 1,000 gold lead.
Well, to note, there's a Clock of Destiny on the side of Suelo, but oof, Kyrie is making a lot of moves here. He is able to do a lot of damage right now because he rushed the Malefic Roar, knowing that he's up against 3 fighters. In the early game, more HP, more base damage. Rebellion Zion, they use 3 fighters and they are abusing it completely, but CW goes in.
Easing the wet there with Janarko will take a lot of healing. Wild Charge as well connects as 2 members from side of Rebellion Zion will fall. Will there be more as ONIC Esports is on a manhunt, but Highs is safe, I gotta say here. So he needs to be careful though. Remember, Abyssal Arrow is always there for side of ONIC Esports. Kyrie here looking for the kill, will not overcommit just yet here as the top structure from side of Rebellion Zion will fall.
Very cool. Crazy cables there from Kyrie. 5-0 and 1, he goes for Dairon.
Okay, Dairon here, with that high and dry emblem. The damage is just too much for this guy. 0-0 here for Dairon. Not a fun game indeed, but now TW in the mid side with that blazing duet will almost take down one member, and there you go. A very well placed BMI to secure a kill on towards Fearless, who is at a 0-3-2. Bell and Zion, they are slowly and surely starting to crumble.
ONIC Esports right now just absolutely taking the game onto their hands with Kyrie just in the center of it, right? Just this high and dry, the Fanny, has just been doing so much in the game. Even though ONIC Esports haven't really been, they haven't really had the grasp on the game, Kyrie has always been consistent. He's there always to pick up the kill, to push in pressure, and again, even with Dairon constantly on his purple buff, he's doing so well to take it.
You know, earlier, CW finishes Demon Hunter Sword at 5 minutes, so once he gets just even a slight bit of power spike, ONIC Esports, they're just a lot more confident in taking these big fights towards Rebellion Zion instead, even though they were on the back foot. Now with a lead, they can start to try and use their superior mid-game, right? Where their burst damage will start to actually shine a lot more compared to Highs and Suelo, who requires a bit more items to get their, the big damage we expect from a Lunox and a Melissa.
ONIC Esports setting up a trap on towards Dairon here. 3v1 is just too much. Keyboy will pick up the kill, but on the flip side here, with Janarko taking a lot of heat there, half HP, but it seems like now ONIC Esports with 2 members, here in the mid side will be able to clear the wave. And now to reset, the top side is going to be the target from side of Rebellion Zion.
There was no objective to take for Rebellion Zion, and that's why ONIC Esports just instantly went towards that bottom side. They know that Dyron always plays the weak side of the map, so if they punished in highs, ooh, able to dodge away. Legion Arco.
Okay, awkward flicker there with Janarko. He is caught here. He is forced to use that Wave Dragon, and he will fall to the hands of CW. Keyboy, though, with that arrow connecting onto a Suelo, but Kyrie jumps in, almost gets taken down, and now take a look at the Melissa. High stays down, and Suelo in the backside will not be able to survive, and Fearless falls as well. ONIC Esports almost with unofficial wipes out here as the mid side, though. Dyron finding compensation. Crazy match as Dyron is struggling. He will fall as well, as this is going to be a white out for side of ONIC Esports now in the 9th minute of the game.
3.8k gold lead, and again, Kyrie 6-0-6. Right now, he's done everything in that early game. He can start to, ease off that card carry mentality because CW has gone his items as well. Kyrie can just focus on the objectives, and CW will be the one to deal the damage with the Blazing Duet. He has the Will Nature already collected as well. So right now, not only can they dish out a lot of damage, but he can soak in as much as well, as there's a fight again.
Oh, Sway Low goes first here. RBL Zion will not have enough damage if they want to fight. A very, very important member there deleted by the side of ONIC Esports. So they get the Lord here. Arashi with this Lord and 5,000 gold lead, what can they amount to?
They can go for an end here. If anyone tries to defend against that Lord, ONIC Esports have the tools available to try and get a massive pickoff. They can go with Sounds with the Wild Charge. They can go off Keyboy's Abyssal Arrow as well. So honestly, RBL Zion needs to play this safe and make sure that they have a bit of a coverage, because again and again, they seem to be quite lost here once ONIC Esports has their power spikes. You can see that with the Have to Seize, with the Hunter Strike on Kyrie, as well as the Demon Hunter Sword and the Wind of Nature on CW, ONIC Esports can just go in all together, and RBL Zion, they're confused on who to focus and who to try and deny to save Swalo and Highs, because everyone can just do a lot of damage at this point.
With the penetration that they have built up, RBL Zion, even their tanky members, are going to be melting very easily. And again, RBL Zion won't be able to take that much damage, right? So right now, what they can go for if they want to win the game is they need to wait for ONIC Esports to make a mistake, overstay and punish, because at this point, with this composition, they're very oppressive. The Selena can just keep on putting in pressure with the Abyssal Arrows and traps in the enemy jungle, and obviously CW with the BMI, almost impossible to catch.
Yeah, I mean, CW has secured himself a Malefic Roar as well, so that Blazing Duet will just burst and melt any member from side of Rebellion Zion. Do want to note though, Keyboy on that Selena, he opted for a Clock of Destiny, but not Lightning Truncheon. He went for Genius Wand, realizing that no Athena shields were made from side of Rebellion Zion, so the magic power is just enough, more than enough, to just burst any member now. Here, an invade for that orange buff. Who will get it? It seems like Rebellion kind of zone out from their own jungle.
Sway Low and Highs, those are the two carries that Rebellion can rely on, but both of them need to be protected. For Sway Low, it's a little bit more alright, it's a little bit more okay, because he does have the brilliance to actually get out of the sticky situations, but for Highs, you need a solid front line. Even with the go away, you can't risk getting hit by the Abyssal Arrow, because then CW can just wreak havoc with the Blazing Duet.
Even if you have the go away, if you get hit by an Abyssal Arrow, the follow-up coming in from ONIC Esports is just a bit too much, man. He has solutions for members like Kyrie diving towards him, but for the damage coming in from like CW, for example, how is he supposed to deal with that? He can go for a Wind of Nature, but then that also leaves him susceptible to other sources of damage. So RBL Zion, if they go to the late game and go for the massive 5v5 sustained team fights, they have a chance here. But of course, ONIC Esports, they have other plans. With the Lord spawning right now, they still have full control, and for sure, they will be looking to get a pick-off yet again on RBL Zion.
Seems like here, Bauman, where Dragon connects onto CW, but Janarko will take the heat. Mega kill for CW. Kyrie with the cables, trying to jump in onto a Swalo. Godlike is now in the hands of Kyrie, and it seems like ONIC Esports, with two members down from side of Rebellion Zion, ONIC Esports will have a free Lord, but it seems like in the mid side, Rebellion will try to find a kill here, perhaps on towards the tanky members. But now, yeah, free Lord for ONIC Esports. Now this is enhanced though, but I do want to say that it seems like it is so hard for Fearless to stay relevant in this game because ONIC Esports, take a look at the heroes. It's so mobile, and it's so hard for Battleman to catch any member from side of ONIC Esports. Seems like now here. 10,000 gold lead established.
It's not just that, man. You know, the Balance having a tough time. Sure, because he doesn't really have space to deal any damage with how mobile ONIC Esports composition is. But on top of that, he's too squishy. Up against the penetration that ONIC Esports have bought for themselves, he can't really soak in any damage. So, yeah, he doesn't really have a place in this game currently. He gets melted by every member, especially Kyrie and CW. It's just so scary, man. How did Kyrie one-shot Sway Low? That was crazy.
Yeah, it seems like he was 100-0 real quick. So Kyrie with the 7-0 and 6 KDA right now, he is performing absolutely insane. And you can see the difference compared to Sans, who doesn't have that muscle memory. But Dyron will be jumped on. Look at the damage coming from CW.
I mean, Lord will take base turret number 1 there, and Sway Low will try to defend. But take a look at bot side. Here's Dyron, forced to use that flicker to escape the damage from CW. High is taking some heat from Boots here. Sway Low and High is trying to melt Boots. He's still okay, but base turret number 2 will fall in the mid side here. It's going to target Dyron, trying to find a kill there. Does not connect, but take a look at that. As base turret number 3 might fall here, Sans jumps in a little bit too deep. Dyron though falls. Sans still survives, but now the Lord is going to target Janarko. Gets deleted as well, and now shut down. But it will be a reset here as Rebellion Zion will be able to defend, but at what cost? Their base is just exposed.
It's still very value. Even though Rebellion Zion finally are able to shut Kyrie down, it's a 3-for-1. And take a look at the base. Completely just taken out. Base turrets all across the board taken out will mean that ONIC Esports have these super minions to play with. And that just means that they'll have more pressure adding up into this game with the Lord that will be spawning in 50 seconds. They can look for the end then.
They can for sure. With 2 assassins, ONIC Esports need to step up the tempo here. They're already playing really well, but Kyrie just got shut down in that fight. So you can make an argument for Rebellion mounting a comeback. It's a replay here by the Sons of Galaxy A series. And look at that, everyone just goes at the attempt together. But for the most part, it just seems that Kyrie got a bit too overzealous. He gets, hit up by Highs, who can do a lot of damage in that late game with that Melissa. So if the fights play out like that, clumped up together, Highs can absolutely carry the game, and with that shutdown, it does seem like there's a lot more opportunity for Rebellion Zion, unless ONIC just out-macros them completely.
And now it does feel like Rebellion are getting tankier, right? They are hitting somewhat of those power spikes right now with the Lunox getting the Divine Glaive. There's going to be more penetration so that they can actually start to melt down that Grok. Because Sans, even though he hasn't been making a whole lot of plays so far in the game in terms of the just engage potential, he has been soaking in a whole lot of damage. Highs gets caught.
Highs here. Oh, take a look at that. The Holy Crystal and Genius One combined. Keyboy just one-shots Highs there. Kyrie jumps in. Luckily, their order were there, but now take a look at that. Wave Dragon connects onto his Kyrie, but no damage whatsoever in the backside, though. Fearless taking the heat from that DHS. And yeah, the backside, Unstoppable will be claimed. Dyron is quite isolated here, but he is a Taquito. Now the base is going to target as Boots finds Sway Low. And ONIC Esports, they look for a game 3 as Fearless will not be able to survive there. Unstoppable collected, and ONIC Esports, the yellow porcupines here, is back in game number 2. Rebellion Zion will have to get that game at 3.
Third game forced out of ONIC Esports now against Rebellion Zion. What a brilliant match by ONIC Esports. Again, they were able to utilize